Okay, so welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing some work on the Sportster. I'm going to be replacing this rear brake switch. I've already got this prepped with Teflon tape. I did do some stuff over here. I contacted the manufacturer of these seals, and they don't actually make these anymore. So I'm going to have to replace these tappets. So I got this seal back to where I think it'll probably be okay short term, probably won't leak. And I'll tackle this in the winter when I take all these out. I don't want to do that now. On the fuel line, what did I do with that? Not sure what's going on with this fuel line. It's unmarked, it's 5/16, but it's basically eating the end of the fuel line. So I don't know if this is actual fuel line. I got it from an auto parts store, but there's no markings on it. It doesn't tell you anything about it. So we're gonna have to go to a different store, I guess, and get something that's, even though I told them I wanted fuel line, maybe they gave me something else. So I did want to wash this bike off with a pressure washer before I did this, but it's kind of raining out today, so I'm going to replace this switch, and then we'll take it out on a pressure washer. Later on, I've got the mirrors in here too that are going to be replaced, and then I'll do the fuel line afterwards. So let's get moving and replace this. This shouldn't take too long. Okay, so this one, I don't know why it was put underneath here, but we're gonna have to take this off with a pair of channel locks. I don't think there's a, well, maybe I can get it off with an adjustable. Let me look and see if I can get this off. Ah, that's really on there. Okay, let's let this sit in there a little bit and see if we can get it off. All right, so this is coming off. Make sure no brake fluid comes out of this. So we got the new one. So it says you have to bleed the brakes afterwards, so there might be a little bit of air in there, so we might have to do that, but I'll see what's going to go on with this. Alright, so before I button this up, let's test this. Let's see if everything's working okay on it. Alright. Alright, so we got that on. And I'm still not getting anything out of the back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bleed the brakes right now because they're a little soft. So we'll bleed the air out of them. I don't know if you can see that, what's going on here. Let me put it over here. can see the air coming out of there. So let me go add some brake fluid. Okay, so we got the rear brakes bled. Let's give it a shot. All right, so we've got regular lights. All right, so that's the front brake. There's the rear brake. Cool. So the rear brake works now. Fine. All right. Okay, so I'll pick this up maybe tomorrow. I got to run out and get some fuel line, put a fuel filter on this, then we can start it up. I mean, it ran fine. There's nothing wrong with it running, but I do want to get a fuel filter on it because I think there's some junk in that tank. So let me get a fuel filter and I'll be back. Okay, so I didn't go get fuel line yet, but I did want to show you the mirrors that I put out. I got to clean them, and I have to wait till I get the seat in and put some Loctite. These things didn't come with any spacers, and the shank is a little too long, even though I ordered the short shank. So I got a spacer here, but I don't know if it looks better here or if it looks better underneath. I think it looks better underneath. It gives the top more of a cleaner look, so I'll replace that. And as soon as we get the seat on and she sits on here, then we can finalize tightening this up and put some Loctite on these nuts. Okay, so let me go grab some fuel line and I'll be back. Okay, so it's the next day. I still haven't got the fuel line. I got to go out and get that. But today we're going to take the Sportster out and we're going to clean it with a pressure washer. And we're going to try this Moto Wash. New England Motorcycle Museum in Connecticut says they use this on their bikes. So I figured I'd give it a shot. It's kind of a spray-on thing, and then you kind of rinse it off. It's almost like that S1 stuff, I think. So let's move the Sportster outside and get going on this. All right, so I have bagged some stuff up. I got a bag over the carburetor. I bagged some of the electrical here. I'm not going to spray directly, on this stuff, but just kind of go. I do want to get down in there is where my main concern is. Got to get some of this rust off and respray that, but this bike is pretty dirty. Out of gas. Okay, so looking pretty good. Got to go get the fuel line today, and got everything back together over here. So just got to put the battery in. Everything's all cleaned off, so did come out a lot cleaner. Still got a lot of detail work to do on this, but let me go get the fuel line and I'll be right back. Okay, so got the fuel line, got everything back together. We are at the end of this video. I did want to mention one thing. Yesterday I had a hard time starting the Sportster. You can see here, I wasn't getting any spark. And so I tested a bunch of stuff, then figured out it was the bank angle bank sensor, bank angle sensor, what do you want to call it. When I disconnected it, it's got a magnet in it, and it closes the circuit, which closes the ignition. So getting the bike upright, turning the key on and off 4 or 5 times resets it. So we're done with this project. This thing is ready to go. I just gotta do an oil change and that's it. And I don't really need to do that today. But let's start it up and we'll hear it. Okay, so even after a build of 15 years ago, this thing still sounds awesome. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Don't forget to subscribe. We do have the deluxe carburetor. Went back to the shop. They're taking another look at that, or why it's overflowing. Shovel running fine. So we should have all three of these. Well, actually, two of these are ready to go on the road right now. I got to go pick up the carburetor probably the beginning of next week. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.